So first phylum is phylum porifera. It includes sponges. The body is asymmetrical. That is, if you cut from any plane, you will never get an equal half. And these are primitive organisms. Their body is made up of many cells which combine together to perform various activities. It is not distinguished into various kind of tissues or organs. Hence, the organization of the body is cellular level, and hence it is a primitive organism. If you see the entire body, you can see so many pores. The body is perforated by minute pores, and these pores are called ostia. All the pores will open into a large opening or cavity called sphingocele. This sphingocele open to the exterior or outside through an opening called osculum. So the water, these are aquatic organisms. They take their food, perform all their metabolic activities only in water. So water is taken in through this ostia, and it is used as a transport agent to transport the food or waste into or outside the body. So here water is taken into through ostia and it is liberated out at osculum. In between, the water current is used for various purposes like respiration, feeding, excretion, reproduction. Here respiration and excretion takes place by a mechanism called diffusion, where the contents will move from an area of greater concentration to an area of lower concentration. So we have seen that all the pores ostia will open into a cavity called sphingocele. It is lined by a type of collar cells. It lined by a group of collar cells called choanocytes. The sponge has a skeleton. It is made up of spicules or spongin fibers. It will give a stiff structure to the organism, and it is hermaphrodite, that is male and female distinction is not there. Both are present in the same organism. Both egg and sperm are produced in one, and fertilization takes place inside the body, hence the fertilization is internal. And the development of the organism is indirect, that is, it will have a larval stage to adult stage development, in which the larva will look entirely different in form when compared to that of an adult. Hence it is known as indirect development of the organisms. Here the fertilization is internal and development is indirect. It has the ability to reproduce by asexual means or vegetative means, which is by fragmentation. That is, a part of the body will be cut off and it has the ability to develop into a new organism. Example is Sycon spongilla euspongia. The second phylum is phylum Coelenterata. It includes Cnidaria. The organisms are aquatic. They are all marine. The body is sessile, that is, it is incapable of reproducing by sexual means. These are free swimming, and the symmetry is radial symmetry. That is, if you cut in any direction, you will get a equal half. The organisms consist of nidoblast. It has a stinging capsule or nematocyst which helps in the anchorage. Sometimes it is used as a self-defense organism, or it is also capable of capturing the prey, and the name Cnidaria is derived from this nidoblast. It has a tissue level of organizations. The cells here will combine to form various kinds of tissues. These tissues perform the activities of the body. Here there is a distinction of various kinds of tissues made up of different cells, and hence here it is a tissue level of organization. The organism is diploblastic. It consists of ectoderm and endoderm. It has a central gastrovascular cavity and it has a single opening mouth on a hypostome. The corals have skeleton made up of calcium carbonate, so the corals are included in this category. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular. So here let's see an explanation about what I have said now. So it is this is the structure of hydra. So you can see mouth here, and surrounding the mouth is hypostome. It actually helps in the ingestion of food, as it is capable of contracting and expanding. By contracting and expanding, it will capture the prey and send it through the mouth. And these tentacles surrounding it is also aid in the function of capturing the prey. And the central gastrovascular cavity is actually a primitive form of digestive system in which the food and the waste pass through and out of the body by a same opening, uh, and it has a central chamber which is known as blind gut. So in between or inside this happens this extracellular and intracellular digestion. So first of all, by the contraction and relaxation of this hypostome, the food enters the mouth, and that process is engulfing. And in this vascular cavity or this blind gut, some enzymes will be secreted. So here the enzyme will act on the captured prey. This kind is known as extracellular, and after that it will partially digest the prey, and the partially digested things will be absorbed by special cells called nutritive cells by the process of phagocytosis, and where in the nutritive cells further division occurs, that is intracellular digestion. And after this the diffusion will take place, by which the nutrition will be distributed to various parts of the body. These nutritive cells will be present in the food vacuole. So here first it will engulf the prey, and some enzymes will act on it, and this process extracellular digestion. After that, partially digested food will be absorbed by nutritive cells. In these cells, the further digestion will take place. It is engulfed. The partially digested food is engulfed by a process called phagocytosis. Inside this nutritive cells, further digestion of the food will take place, and that is known as intracellular digestion. After digestion, the nutrition should be absorbed, and that absorption process takes place by diffusion. That is, the contents will be moved from greater concentration to lower concentration, and the nutrition will be distributed to all the parts of the body. This is how the digestion will take place in this phylum Coelenterata. So as the phylum goes up, the complications of the body will also be great. So now let's see the life cycle of phylum Coelenterata. So in the life cycle, two types of individuals will be produced. One is polyp and another is medusa. So polyp, it's actually sessile. It doesn't have any reproductive organism. It simply captures the prey and digests it. Example for this kind is hydra. When it want to reproduce the next generation, a part of the body will be cut, and it is capable of growing into a new organism. But here the sexual reproduction is absent, and hence these kind of known as sessile. Whereas this medusa, it is in the kind of tiny umbrella. You all have might have seen the jellyfish, so it is included in this type. So the jellyfish is in the shape of an umbrella. Same way, this medusa are umbrella shaped, and it floats in water, and it has reproductive parts: gonads, testes, and ovaries. Gametes will be produced from these sex organs, and fertilization will take place in this type. So polyps are sessile, and medusa are can reproduce by sexual means. So there are some group of organisms or some species in which both the sexual and asexual reproduction takes place. So here the asexual reproduction means a body regeneration from a body part. So for example, in the case of species called Obelia, both asexual and sexual reproduction takes place. Here the asexual phase will alternate the sexual phase. So asexual will give rise to sexual, and this sexual phase will give rise to asexual. So in this way, cycle will be formed: asexual to sexual and sexual organism to asexual organism, and this kind is known as alternation of generation. But here both these polyps. This polyps also diploid, and this medusa also diploid. So previously in plants we have seen the gametophytic phase is haploid, sporophytic phase is diploid. So there in that alternation of generation, and haploid phase alternated a diploid phase and vice versa. But here both are diploid phases. So here polyps also diploid and medusae also diploid. And this kind of alternation of generation is actually not a true alternation of generation, because here both diploid phases are alternating each other. So here polyps by asexual means, that is by through a body part, by cutting of a body part, it will give rise to the next generation, that is medusae. They will have the sexual organs, gonus, testis, ovaries, and it will produce the gametes. Gametes will undergo fertilization, and it will give rise to zygote. The zygote will develop into polyps, which are sessile, and it will reproduce by asexual means. So some of the organisms are sea anemone, sea fan, brine coral. Actually, this coral, that skeleton is secreted by the polyp phase of the organisms. So how the polyps will produce this medusa? In some cases, polyps will produce numerous buds on its bodies, and these buds are known as blastocysts, and these buds will get detached from the parent body and it will develop into medusae. The next phylum is phylum Ctenophora. So the organism will look like this. Here the organisms are transparent and they are capable of glowing, that is they can exhibit bioluminescence. Example for this kind is sea walnut comb jellies. They are marine, they have radial symmetry. Wherever you cut you will get an equal half. They are diploblastic, only ectoderm, endoderm will be present. Here also tissue level of organization will be there. So various type of cells of same kind are grouped together to form tissues, and these tissues will perform the activities of the body, and hence here the body organization is tissue level. So it will have 8 external. So if you see this closely, you can see it resembling just like our comb. Hence it is known as comb plate. So when you see, there will be 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates. Actually these are cilia which will help in locomotion or capturing the prey. Here also digestion is extracellular and intracellular. It will engulf, enzymes will act on it, and it will be the partially digested food will be absorbed inside some cells, and inside the cells complete digestion will take place, that is intracellular. These organisms are capable of glowing, that is it will emit some light, and this phenomenon is known as bioluminescence. So actually how it will emit light means, there are specialized cells called photocyte cells which will secrete some proteins called photoproteins, which these proteins when activated will give light. And here the sexual reproduction is sexual. Fertilization will take place outside the body. Both sperm and egg will be released out in water where they will fuse, and hence here the fertilization is external. It will not take place inside the body, and the development of the organism is indirect. That is the larval phase will be different in look when compared to the adult phase. So here the fertilization is external and development is internal. So this is all about this phylum. Phylum Platyhelminthes. Platy means flat, and helminthes is worm. So these are flat worms. So both the dorsal and the ventral side both are flattened, and hence they are known as flatworms. They are endoparasites. Parasites are organisms which will live in some other organisms called host. So organisms which are occupied by these parasites are known as host. Host. These are known as host. The parasites will live on host and it will take the food from the host. Sometimes it may cause disease to the host. Since it is present inside the body of the host, it is known as endoparasite. Endo means inside. So these parasites will live inside the body of the host and they are known as endoparasite. So you can see tapeworm here. It will live in the intestine of humans. They are found as endoparasites in animals, including humans. The body is bilaterally symmetrical. That is, when you cut in only any one plane, if you cut in one plane, it will give two equal halves. Any other planes, you will never get an equal half. So, in only one plane, it will give a equal half. Hence, it is bilaterally symmetrical. Here, the organization is triploblastic. Ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm will be present. These are acoelomate animals. That coelom will be absent. Here the organ level of organization will be there. Tissues will combine to form organs and these organs will perform various activities. So since it is a parasite, it has to have a thing to attach to the host and get the food from it. So it will have hooks and suckers. Hooks and suckers will help in absorption of food from the host. These organisms will have some kind of cells in which bundles of cilia will be released inward from the basal granules in the cytoplasm. So when we look, it will look like a flame. Hence these are known as flame cells. They got their name because of this arrangement of cilia which will look like flame, and these will help in osmoregulation and excretion. Osmoregulation means it will help to maintain the water balance, both water balance of the inside and outside environment. And excretion, actually the liquid waste from the tissues will be collected by the movement of these cilia. It will be moved out through an excretory pore. So these flame cells will help to maintain the body balance, that is osmoregulation. Actually it's a water balance since it is a aquatic organism. The cells should be protected from being dehydrated or spoiled by water. It has to maintain a proper balance of the liquid both inside and outside its body. So that is done by these flame cells, and it also helps in the excretion of the waste from the body. So these organisms are hermaphrodite. It doesn't have separate male and female organism. Both the male and female organs will be present in the same organism. The fertilization is internal, that is the fusion of male and female gamete will take place inside the body, and the development takes place through many larval stages. So it is obviously indirect. Planaria, actually it's a kind of flatworm where wherever you cut its body, it can easily grow into and easily and quickly grow into a complete organism. That is, it has a high regeneration capacity. Regeneration means it can develop the cut portion of the body. Tapeworm is present in intestine of man. So when it is there, it will create appetite. That appetite, pain will be there, diarrhea and nervous disorders. It is capable of causing all these things. So next phylum is phylum aschelminthes. It includes all the roundworms. These are free living, aquatic. It is also terrestrial, and they are also parasites. Here organ system level will be there. So various organs will be grouped to form system, like digestive system, nervous system, like that. And the body is bilaterally symmetrical. One plane, two halves. Any other plane, no half. You will never get a two equal halves. Triploblastic, ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm will be there. Pseudocoelomate, that is the mesoderm will be seen as patches in the cavity or the coelom. The alimentary canal, the digestive system, that system primitive we can keep. So that alimentary canal is complete here. It will have two openings, one separate for mouth and separate for excretion purpose. So it will have a muscular pharynx. It is capable of contracting and sending the food inside. Here it is dioecious. The word here what we are seeing is dioecious. It will have a separate male and female organism. So far what we have seen, it is hermaphrodite, but here we have a different male and female organism. The male is very small when compared to female here. So here what you can see is the mouth. The top is mouth, and in 2 millimeter distance you can see the excretory pore. So from through the excretory pore, the waste is removed out. Fertilization is internal, and the development of the young ones is either direct. Here we are coming across another new word, direct or indirect. Indirect means from larva to adult, the larval stage will look entirely different from that of adult. That growth phases, each growth phase, the organism will look different. In the case of direct development, the young ones will resemble the parent. The young ones will look as such like a parent, but only thing is it will be small in size.